I don't understand why some people are so bothered by the idea of a game not being released over here due to fear of backlash or outrage. It's not a matter of censorship. It's just a sign that they have respect for our culture and what our society believes is healthy for gamers to be allowed to see. It's good that companies are taking what might cause outrage into consideration, rather than just thinking about whether it will sell or not. Normally it takes law to encourage a business to make such a thoughtful decision. The cancellation of Dragon Age Inquisition's Indian release, for example, was down to concern over falling foul of local obscenity laws, and Wolfenstein: The New Order had to be altered for its German release due to law against Nazi imagery. Changes included a generic renaming of Nazi forces to the regime, and the removal of all in-game swastikas. While Germany is certainly setting a good example, there is another symbol of oppression, discrimination and suffering in the West, just as hateful and disgusting as the swastika, that is still, somehow, allowed to be included in commercial video games with little challenge. I am referring, of course, to the uncovered female body. It shouldn't actually require laws for developers to never ever make anything that could possibly offend someone, because that's censorship, and censorship of creative work is only acceptable if the art's really icky and gross, which is why you should be glad to hear Dead or Alive Extreme 3 is not coming to the West simply due to recent consistent controversy over exposed female skin and the disgust prominent critics and activists feel at the sight of it, which of course accurately represents the average Western gamer's perspective. All the effective outcome of a law, none of the censorship. Brilliant. While some have suggested Tecmo's decision was purely fiscal and fear of controversy is an excuse, let's hope for women's sake that that's not the case, and that they've actually learned something. Some of us thought they'd have learned their lesson back in 2010, when Dead or Alive Paradise was released and the Entertainment Software Rating Board warned that paradise cannot mean straddling felled tree trunks in dental floss thongs. It should have been a victory, a clear statement about the morality of such a game. But sadly, the ESRB apologized for the description and its subjectivity, quickly changing it and capitulating to the creepy gamers, effectively making it seem like people are open to anything being in games, and that they want a minimum of moral judgment getting in the way. Unbelievable. But that was back then. Today, thanks to our few brave and pure megaphone holders who understand the silliness of striving for objectivity, the rest of the world's finally getting the message that this kind of depravity doesn't fly in the West, that these obscene creations are dangerous and only imported by perverted social outcasts. Thanks to progressive voices in games media and their occasional appearances in mainstream outlets, we don't need laws or official classifications to help stop the spread of immoral content as some other places do. We just need foreign video game companies to take the hint. Do they want to be known as distributors of digital poison that hurts both men and women? No? Then they'd better back off with their Eastern smut. No one will defend their games here. Or, at least, they'd better not. But that's just one of my inclusive opinions.